Hello and welcome to the second video for the dual credit enrollment steps at OTC. The purpose of this video is to focus on step 4, the class registration form. This video will assist students, parents, and schools in completing the electronic signature portion of signing up for classes in the dual credit program. Before we get started on this step, here are some important reminders about this step and some information that needs to be known and verified before the step is started. Before completing this step, students must complete steps 1, 2, and 3. Remember, this is step 4, and students need to complete the steps in sequence in order to be enrolled properly. Remember, this is the only way for students, parents, and schools to let OTC know which classes the student should be enrolled in each semester. Each person, the student, the parent, and the school, is responsible for signing the document
and selecting the Finish button.
If that person doesn't hit the Sign button at the bottom of the form
and the Finish button,
the form doesn't go anywhere, including to the next person or to OTC to be processed. It simply stops. So it's very important that each person involved in the document hits the Sign
and the Finish button.
And finally, before we go to the form, the OTC ID and or social security number needs to be known and entered correctly, otherwise the process will be impacted. The student's email, the parent's email, and the school email needs to be known and entered correctly. If any part of these steps is missed, the form doesn't go to the next person in the queue, and OTC isn't aware that a student is trying to enroll in a class. So the information needs to be entered correctly and accurately on this part of the process in order for the student to be enrolled in classes. A special note on email is that some high schools and some employers do not allow outside email. Be sure that you're using an email that allows communications from outside entities. If you don't have the information described previously, please pause the video and obtain that information before moving forward. If you have verified the information and are ready to get started, we are going to open up any browser and go to otc.edu. and type in dual credit checklist in the search box. Okay, I have opened a Chrome browser and I'm just going to type in otc.edu, hit enter. I'm going to type dual credit checklist in the search box and hit enter. Select the first link. And here are the admission steps. As previously mentioned, students need to complete steps 1, 2, and 3 before starting this step. For step 4, the class registration form, we are going to right-click this hyperlink, open in a new tab, and begin entering the emails for the pathway of the form. Students can use their preferred email here, and then enter their parent name and email. And then enter the school contact.
A special note for homeschool families, on this page, the student will enter the parent information twice, first under parent and then again the same information under school.
Again, these are just sample names and emails for the purposes of this tutorial. All the information provided here would be unique to the student and would need to be verified before hitting begin signing. We're going to hit begin signing. We're going to select got it, and I agree to use of DocuSign for electronic records and signatures. Hit continue. We will continue with the test student account. This space here can be a social security number or the OTC ID. I enter the name of the school I attend and the planned graduation date. Up next is the semester, the upcoming semester, the semester that I want to be enrolled in classes. And then every time we want to add a class to our schedule or request a class, we select add in this first drop down. For this next column, we're going to go back to the checklist and select the first hyperlink under step 4 and open it in a new tab. And every school that we partner with will be listed here on this page. So if I'm a student that it goes to Bradleyville, I know that I only have online course options, so my only selection here is online. For the purposes of this tutorial, my test student attends El Dorado. So I have the online option, and I also have the seated option with high school instructors. As a student, I know that I attend El Dorado and that I have Mr. Griffin as my history teacher. And this is the information that I need to complete the enrollment form. So I'm going to go back to my enrollment form, select seated, history, 120, and DES. Again, this information was copied right here after verifying the school and the instructor of the course. For students that attend schools with the online course option, up here, we're going to go back to our checklist and select the online class list. Any student that has online listed under their high school can participate in these online course options. I'm just going to pick the first one on this list, Art 100. And because I attend El Dorado, I can select from both seated and online course options. And for the purposes of online, you just need to fill in this third column here, Art 100. So now that I have added the 2 classes that I want to enroll in, the next step as a student is to select this sign option. Again, this is required part of the enrollment form. As a student, I'm going to select sign. You can customize your signature if you like, otherwise just select adopt and sign. Here is this button the student needs to select in order to move the form to the next person in the process. Whether I choose a download a copy now or wait, I will be automatically sent a completed version once the forms are signed and finished by the other 2 email addresses that I entered on the previous page. And here is a sample view of the form. That ends the student portion. Once the student hits that submit button, the DocuSign system sends a copy of the form to the parent email address provided by the student. And here is what that email looks like. I'm going to go ahead and download pictures. The parent goes into the email that the student provided on the form, opens the email from DocuSign, and select Review Document. As the parent, I'm going to select Continue and Continue. I can review the information provided by the student, sign,
and either adopt and sign if it's your first time using DocuSign, or used saved.
and finish. Same as with the student has to sign and select finish. The parent also has to sign and select finish. Here is a completed version of the parent portion. A special note for our homeschool families, again, the parent just signed this form but does need to go back into their email again for a second time to sign as the school. Now DocuSign has sent the DocuSign email to the school email address provided by the student at the start of the process. Now switching over to school view. This is an email I got to the school email entered. As the instructor of the course or the school counselor, I'm going to review document, select continue, continue, and only if everything is correct will I sign this form as the school. If something is incorrect, it needs to be fixed by the student, and I will not sign this form. Everything looks correct as the instructor or counselor, so I'm going to select sign.
And either adopt and sign if it's your first time using DocuSign, or used saved.
And finish. Only after all 3 signatures are obtained does DocuSign send a completed email from DocuSign. This signifies the student, the parent, and the school have all 3 signed the document. That means it's complete, and the student, parent, and school can wait for additional communication from OTC Dual Credit. If the student, parent, or school would like a copy of the form, they can download the signed form here and save it for their records. At the same time that the student, the parent, and the school get a copy of this DocuSign form, the Dual Credit Office gets a copy as well. This is the information we use to enroll students in classes. Only if the requested classes are available and we are able to successfully enroll the student with the accurate information provided, does the student and parent receive a confirmed enrollment email from dualcredit@otc.edu. And that completes the class registration step. Students can now return to the browser with the checklist, and now that we've completed step 4, we have the completed form with all signatures and the completed email from DocuSign. We can then move on to step 5 and wait for communication from dualcredit@otc.edu with confirmed enrollment in the subject line. If you have any other questions or concerns, please refer to these enrollment steps. You can watch this video as many times as you like. If you prefer written directions, those are also available here as well. If the answers to your questions are not provided within this video or this document, please feel free to email us at dualcredit@otc.edu. Thank you.